Okay, let's look at 3b. On what open interval contained in -5 to 4 is the graph of g both increasing and concave down? So keep in mind that if we take the derivative of this right here, right, we get, we take the derivative of g prime, we get g prime of x equals to ft, right? So what that tells me is that f represents the graph of the derivative of g. In other words, what I'm saying is that the y values on this graph represent when the function is increasing, when it's positive, and when it's negative, it's decreasing. In other words, anything above the x-axis is when the graph has a positive slope, or here, obviously here and here you have 0. So this graph has a positive slope here, 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 here. Basically, anything between, let me clear it all, everything between -5 to 2 is either 0 or positive. And then afterwards, anything past 2, these are negative values, which means you have a negative slope. So the question here is saying, when is this graph increasing for the first part? So we know that the values that we're going to choose for increasing have to be between -5 and 2. So whatever my answer is, it has to be between -5 and 2, because values that are past 2 are all have a y value that is negative, and that's no-go. It's a no-go. So the next part is it's concave down. So what does that tell me? Well, if this graph represents g prime, the derivative, the second derivative is the slope of the graph. So if it's concave down, it's saying, when is the slope of this of the graph here, when is that slope negative? Or when is it going down? Well, that occurs here and here. So those are your answers. So the answer is going to be between -5 and -3, and then between 0 and 2. And there you have it. So again, we've seen this question before. All we got to do is realize that if this graph represents g prime, then when the y values are positive is when your slope is going to be positive, and when your y values are negative, then that is when your slope is negative. The slope of this graph is the second derivative, and if it's negative, it tells you when it's concave down. If it's positive, it tells you when it's concave up. So hopefully that makes sense. Oh, hold on a second. It says, give a reason for your answer. So I guess we have to write out what it means. So what I just said is true. So whenever g prime equals f is positive and decreasing, we have g to be increasing and concave down. Okay? There you go. Boom. There's your reason. Alright, now I can say, I'll see you all in the next video.